That's the original. So I was a founder of it, but subsequently I became its chairman.
I got involved with Apsea early on when I was in the committee from Architecture Association of Kenya, and I chaired a committee under Apsea to review the bylaws of accessibility to buildings. Because the following year, in '92, there was a big international conference here to discuss the same topic. And so we as Apsea and as the association professionals, we were participating in that. And we looked at the bylaws it was collaborative with the ministry to look at accessibility to buildings. By '92, the interesting part was that the country had gone through a lot of political change. And the most significant period from the 90s was the multi-party. The country was moving out of single-party elections to multi-party. So there was a lot of push in the society for that. And Apsea, because politics directly affect the life of people, including professionals. So we were part of the NGO group that really advocated for a more inclusive way of doing business. And so we were not surprised to find ourselves bringing together the associations, bringing together the faith groups. And I remember during my time as chairman, there was the famous Ufungamano initiative, which was really now professionals and the faith groups coming together to discuss and argue the case for a more inclusive leadership. And Apsea was very instrumental into that Ufungamano initiative.
When Apsea was started way back in 1961, the professions were few. It was mainly engineering, architecture, but over time, services has increased. The advent of technology, the issue of e-commerce, the artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, so much so that the membership has also expanded in terms of modern science. I'll give 4 scenarios of modes of service supply. One is cross-border transfer of services, which means a service provider here can provide service to somebody who is not in the country or across the border. For example, accounting or research. Institutions outside the country can ask Kenyans to do research for them on certain things. Another aspect of service exchange is called consumption abroad. This is where individuals leave from this place, this Kenya, to go and offer services outside. Or individuals from outside come to get services from here. I'll give an example of medical services. Of late, most Kenyans go to India for medical services, but there are also those who come into Kenya for medical services. Another aspect of service, we call it establishment abroad, whereby architects here, engineers here, leave the Kenya and go to the neighboring regions or abroad to have services, establish companies which supply those services. The last aspect of services which has changed is called a movement of natural persons. In this case, Kenyans live here, go abroad to offer services, professional services, engineering, medicine, architecture, and they come back home after offering those services. Going forward, services which were offered as professionals and others have made the incomes of this country increase. So much so that if you even measure the GDP of the country, there's a lot of money coming from abroad, and that's mainly services.
I get into office as the chair of Apsea. I'm sure you all know the history and the rich resource that Apsea is, but here you are at the apex of the professionals within the Republic of Kenya. And you know, the name Apsea is actually beyond our boundaries because it actually covers even East Africa. And having lawyers, because LSK is a member, having the Kenya Medical Association, Kenya Dental Association, just to mention a few of the professional associations that are linked to Apsea, I would say was dignified. Great agendas that I had when we were going into office. One of the things I took during my mandate, I was saying that just like in a success of a man, and these days I say it's two a woman, they say behind every man, successful man, there's a woman, or behind every successful woman, there's a man. Now when it came to corruption, my slogan was very simple: behind every corrupt deed, you need a professional to cover it up. And I was actually spearheading the fight so that we would have a scenario where our professionals are held accountable so that the issue of loss of public funds and illegal acts with regards to corruption do not happen. It was also during my tenure that we really focused on a strong relationship between the Apsea and the EACC. Apsea has really been very close with those institutions.
One of the biggest meetings that we did during my tenure is bringing all professionals together, all arms of government together, even the presidency, the executive. We brought the presidency on board, and we had one of the biggest meetings at Bomas of Kenya, where the president came, where the civil society came, where all the donors came, where government was there, judiciary was there, all professionals were there represented, and we had 2 days of looking at this country and wondering how can we tackle this issue of corruption. After that, I brought professionals together, and we had the National Professional Convention of 2018. Professionals had never come together. And we were discussing the role of professionals in leadership and integrity.
There was a very good relationship with professionals who are in government. That, like the then Attorney General, Honorable Ian Moswako, was also a former chairman of Apsea at Professional Center. So it was easy to have dialogue, professional dialogue with even the government at professional level.
We focused on partnerships beyond professionals. We're looking at institutions that would be able to support us because we're working from the same script. From the time I took over until today, Crown Paints always supported every annual event of Apsea. And of course, Crown was looking at it from two-pronged. Who are Apsea? Apsea are professionals.
Our partnership with Apsea is I think more than 10 years, where it firstly was introduced by one of our board of directors, non-executive directors, Steve Ondo, which he has asked me to attend one of this dinner, and then I saw that what are the professional qualities of people in this group are there, and I was very excited that definitely Apsea can we communicate our brand message, that's important, but we also learn with them that what best we can do. We as organizations, we always believe in taking feedback from the and professionals are the best people who can give us the feedback and can able to we can learn from each other and can do better. And we appreciate the support of Apsea always. We've been able to reach out our very strong brand messages to the best professionals of East Africa and Kenya.
What Apsea is doing is outstanding in terms of that, giving us that platform to come together, which we will not be able to do if we're doing different things, because under it we have the bodies like the lawyers, we have the accountants, we have the supply chain, so the engineers, so all of us practice profession in different level. But when we are brought together by Apsea as the Association of Professionals East Africa, in terms of even when we are pushing for something, that one voice is key. When we are pushing for professionalism in terms of the standards, that is where we start from. And then what happened in terms of how the world is evolving and is changing on matters of digitization, matters of sharing information, it provided for us that platform, not just within Kenya, but within East Africa.
As Apsea, you are more of a coordinating body. But we did try very, very hard, and we were given space and allowed to engage at the highest levels with the Office of the President and with various ministries. So for that I am thankful to the Office of the President under His Excellency Mwai Kibaki. We started this idea of even recognizing professionals in the presidential awards that come nationally every year. The efforts we put towards the current Kenya Constitution that allows us to speak without looking over our shoulders. That for me is a watershed achievement for us all, including Apsea, because we were part of the delegates that went to Bomas. We presented memorandum, we prepared our positional papers as professionals, and I think our contribution to that process, to me, remains the really great achievement for this country. Now we can sleep without worrying, we can argue on very many areas without fear. If we can protect that constitutional achievement, this country must and will take off.
I had a vision of Apsea being an advisory to government, such that when government is recruiting professionals, we give them the go-ahead. Because let's assume you are recruiting the AG. Who knows whether that AG has been working or not working in his past? It is the law.
Our institution is older than Kenya, set up way back during the pre-colonial era. So we've stood the test of time in terms of managing people's wealth. We pay pension to pensioners, including pensioners who are in UK. These are the Wazungus who are working for the pre-colonial government then, who are members of our scheme. So this is to assure you the scheme is very solid, very robust, and we now have other schemes which is available for any other person who wants to save for retirement. Now that Daktari is still away, let me take advantage to sell more. Other than that, we also do wealth management. We've recently established a company called CPF Asset Managers. So we do manage wealth. In case you have some money somewhere, we can always give you better rate than what banks are giving you, but of course in a very safe investment instruments. We do also manage properties. In case you have property somewhere, we have expertise in that in terms of managing properties. We also have interest in insurance brokerage. So our wings is quite broad in terms of what we can do for you. So I think that's the few I can say for now. I'm sure we'll engage further this evening. Daktari, do I continue marketing? I've overdone it, eh? Thank you.
So we are almost coming to the highlight of our speeches. I would like to know if there are any other presidents in this gathering. Do we have? There are presidents? Where? Okay, I'll give you exactly 1 minute. You know, presidents must, I think after this we need to form a presidential round table.
Thank you. My name is Abraham Samuel, president of ISK. ISK is a professional association bringing together surveyors, valuers, property managers, land managers. We are very happy to be part of this 60th anniversary. Right from inception, 1969, we've been part of Apsea, and we are very we are very proud of what Apsea has achieved over the years. ISK will continue being a strong partner of the profession of Apsea and growing professionalism locally. Thank you very much, Bwana MC. I have not donated any seconds to you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I'm winding down on the presidents. Who are the other presidents? There's a president. Oh, fantastic. Photographer, please come here. Photographer.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Florence Nyole. I'm an architect and the Vice President of the Architectural Association of Kenya. Very proud to be part of this event and very happy to support Apsea as we move forward to the next 60 years. AAK represents 8 built environment professions: architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, town planners. Now we have an interior design chapter, we have environmental design consultants, we have construction project managers and landscape architects. So within AAK, we also have, it's somehow formed as if it's an Apsea. So thank you very much for having us, and we're happy to be here.
Thank you very much. Kuna nyumba zimeanguka Kasarani na Ruai. The other president, one more president before we move. Oh, you have a president here? Where is he? Where is the president?
Okay. My name is Kenyanya Jeffers, the president for the Society of Radiography in Kenya. The people that are able to see the internal parts of the human body very easily. So thank you, Apsea, at 60.
Very good. With that, who is that? Okay. There's one more president here. He looks not very confident, but hey, Changam comes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Planner Joachim Nyarangi, president of the Kenya Institute of Planners. We are the professionals that add value to your land and look into communities now and to the future and prepare for that future starting now. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have come to the time where I hand over the program to the owners. At this point, I want to welcome the chairman of Apsea to make his opening remarks and invite the special guests to the next part of the program. And keep tweeting Apsea at 60, keep tweeting, and you can tag Simon Kigondu. I have presents for those who are here. Chairman, Felix Okach. Apewe makofi akikuja, unajua yeye ni mtu wa kilo. Makofi ya kilo.
Apana makofi ya pounds, the kilos, eh? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Can you hear me at the end? That table, can you hear me? Please raise your hands if you can hear me. Can you hear me, that table? That side? That? Oh, fantastic. Very good. How are you all? Welcome, welcome. You've been told my names are Felix Okach, the current chairman of Apsea. How come you sure you're hearing me or I'm hearing something else? Fine. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Our guest of honor, the presidents of various associations, the chairpersons and chairmen, chief executive officers of corporate members. You know, Apsea is an association for corporate members, not individuals. All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Once again, good evening. Bonjour. Habari za jioni. Let me start. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you to celebrate this great milestone of Apsea. When you talk of milestone, you talk of 60 years. You had architect David Mutiso mention about 60 years. A journey that began with brilliant professionals as a mustard seed. You know mustard seed, the small seed which becomes big. In the story of the Bible, there's a story of mustard seed. So Apsea was like mustard seed, it went up. So it has blossomed and given thousands of individuals an umbrella to shade from the dynamics of the current world. Now the world today is very dynamic. As an association, we are humbled for great achievements we have accomplished and acquired through the decades. Just to mention a few of the achievements we've had, I'll start one. Corporate members have grown from 9 to now 30 members. Makofi. And of course, having increased the number of corporate members, now individuals are now over 500,000 individuals who are members of Apsea as individuals. Two, on the milestones, construction of professional center building, which is located at CBD. Initially, the association offices were hosted by LSK. Makofi to LSK. I know when I say that, Chief Guest Anne, you're happy when I say LSK. The professional center has grown to have a stable secretariat and meeting rooms for hire and offices which are let out at 90% occupancy at any one given time. So the secretariat, the building has helped us to sustain the secretariat. Another milestone, the third milestone here, is that formation and the implementation of Kenya Professional Development Fund. Engineer Ren, where you stand, please. Stand. Makofi. This is to highlight that we see that when we talk of Professional Development Fund, it's a fund which is assisting professionals, young professionals way forward. So it's a fund by Apsea. It's like a provident fund. It's a trust fund whose mandate is to promote the development of professionalism in Kenya and East Africa. I urge upon corporate members to nominate members to join one of our committees in the year 2024, because Apsea operates in committees, and the professionals who are here, please endeavor to join the committees, because you start from the committees and move up. Another milestone for Apsea is that the association has signed memorandum of understanding with the government and private institutions. These MOUs have accelerated the achievement of the association mission going forward. By the way, when you talk of being part and parcel of the government, we played a big role in the constitution making process. During the 2010, we made sure that professionalism is put in every appointment. So most government appointments you're seeing, there's an aspect of professionalism, either in terms of direct nomination or appearing in the nomination panels. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, I acknowledge with appreciation the sincere effort Apsea has received from former chairpersons who are holding the offices and nurture the institution up to where it is. You know the world we live in, when you learn from what the older persons did in the past, it makes you go better than when you don't learn. Even in the Bible, they always talk of listening to the parents, older persons, then you move forward. In fact, they say also, all of us, you can read, you can do very well in exam, whatever you're doing. But there's a gap which we always miss, and that gap is learning from the older persons, because that one, you don't get it in a book, but you use it to learn, the way we've learned from architect David Mutiso here. So going forward, I take this opportunity to applaud each one of us for maintaining and advocating peace during the pre- and post-elections. We've done well. This shows maturity of our democracy and the people in this beautiful country. On behalf of Apsea, allow me to once again congratulate our President, Makofi, his deputy, Makofi, Cabinet Secretary Makofi, lakini hao wengine ngoja kidogo, hakuna Makofi hapo, unajua hiyo. Hapo mngoje kidogo. Koti imesema tungoje kidogo, sivyo? Sawa. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, professionalism is key in all sectors in Kenya and East Africa and the entire globe. With the significance of new realities, as professionals, we should be in the front line to accept, adapt, and implement new realities facing forward on helping human race. The world of today, ladies and gentlemen, the engineers of those days, the architects of those days, things are different now. There's a lot to do with science, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, Internet of Things. Even doctors, now when the doctor is doing diagnosis, they have to do all that. So the world has changed. In engineering, it is the same. And I think legal issues are also the same. So the world is changing, we should be part and parcel of the change as professionals. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, climate change has taught us that lack of accountability has consequences. If we do not adapt and implement the outcome of this monster, the human race might be extinct. As professionals, institutions, country, and the world at large, we have faced new realities in different sectors. Sectors of health, commerce, climate change, politics, health, the impact of COVID, that's health, and the whole lot. So the world is changing, we should be part and parcel of the change. Ladies and gentlemen, going forward, global inflation, it is one of the key challenges of the new realities that is facing us, and we must make sure that we address those issues as going forward. A new reality that previously was assumed to be for the weak economies, that's inflation, has caught up with us. As professionals, we should invent new ways to tackle this challenge that is weakening our country and institutions, is weakening growth, and also transaction value of money is going down because of inflation. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, drought and famine, it's one of the consequences that we are facing as a country because of our behavioral change towards the environment. We need to look at the environment from a different perspective. This year's impact should be a wake-up call to us to take up the challenges as posed on us by the President during the Mashujaa Day celebration speech on planting 5 billion trees in the next 5 years. So we can do that. We can plant trees. Makofi for that President, Makofi. You know, when I say Makofi, I think I have to check whether are we awake or we are not awake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the outcome of COP27 in Egypt demonstrates great partnership with stakeholders and countries to tackle climate change. This applies to us as professionals. If we do not come together to adapt to implement the new changes, realities will be finished. We are the people, as it is, to pass professional morals and character. We are the people to impact knowledge to the young generation. Let us strive to be a book that can be read and read when we are long gone. To everyone who made this event success, special thanks to the organizing committee, the secretariat, stakeholders, our sponsors, and special guests. Let's give them a coffee. Let also give other special claps to gold sponsors, KPDF, Makofi to KPDF, Makofi to CPF, Makofi to CASNEB. My friends are there at the table. Crown Paints, Makofi, and Siab. With sincere hearts, we appreciate our continued support to make this special day and event colorful and memorable the way it is. With those few remarks, I'll say thank you and allow me to wish all of us seated here a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2023. Makofi to all of us. As I exit the stage, ladies and gentlemen, there was a great English playwright called Shakespeare. He said, in whatever stage you are in, at a time you will have to exit and let somebody come to the stage. So now it's my time also to exit and leave the stage to the first Vice Chair of Apsea, Mr. Ken Kariuki. Please come. Makofi to Ken.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. You know, the chairman was struggling to hear some tables, and we were actually asking whether there is something different from a soft drink, which is a little bit hard. So we need to confirm whether our tables have something soft or some have something which is a little bit harder, because the chairman was struggling to hear some tables. Yeah, so my name's Kenneth Wangari, and I'm the senior or the first vice chairman of Apsea. I work under Felix Okach and a team of executive in Apsea. And therefore, Mr. Chairman, our chief guest, the Chief Justice representative, our guest representing the Attorney General, and of course our Auditor General, all protocols observed, including all the chairmen of the associations. I salute you all. So my role today is just to invite our guests to address us a little bit. And we are really grateful because the composition of the guestship is amazing for us as professionals. So you will hear for yourselves the way the event orchestrated and metamorphosed to have this composition of the guests. It is something very amazing. Therefore, we will start with Nancy Gadongo. Nancy Gadongo, don't come fast, I will call you. I just want to briefly introduce you. I met Nancy a while ago when we were developing something called Kenya Integrity Plan under the Kenya Leadership Integrity Forum. So that's where we met. And I remember the impression I got about Nancy was a high-level professional who is extremely meticulous in whatever she does. So actually when I saw in the news she is the Attorney General, the Auditor General, I said, actually, things have gone as expectation. And somehow, the right people can find themselves in the right offices. Because Nancy is extremely meticulous. When you are developing that plan, we were divided into various subcommittees, and I would see the level of meticularity that she was applying and the professionalism. So Nancy is the Auditor General of the Republic of Kenya. She was appointed to this position July 17th, 2020. I believe all of us can remember. And she holds a master's in business administration, strategic management option, which I've also completed just the other day, an MBA in strategic management. So I'm following your footsteps, but I'm not sure I can be an auditor general. I'm a commercial professional. And a bachelor's degree in commerce accounting. Ms. Gadongo is currently pursuing a PhD in business administration, strategic management. It's amazing how I'm following your path because I've been inquiring about a doctoral. It is true. The insurer is laughing, but it's true. She has more than 27 years experience in public sector, auditing, quality assurance, and information technology audit. Ms. Gadongo is a certified member and trainer in the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, the table right on my left. A certified information system auditor, CISA, and a member of Association of Women Accountants in Kenya, AWAC, where she mentors other young lady accountants. Prior to her appointment, she served as Director of Audit, provided leadership in various directorates at the Office of Auditor General in Kenya, namely Quality Assurance, Forensic Audit, IT Audit, Learning and Development. She is the Vice Chairperson of Africa Organization of Spring Audit Institution, English speaking. She is the Chair of the Apsea Technical and Institutional Capacity Building Committee. She is also the Chair of International Organization of Spring Audit Institution, Capacity Building Committee, Guides and Occasional Papers Workstream. This is extremely encouraging for us professionals. She is a facilitator, resource person, and peer reviewer in the audit process, risk management, governance, as well as public finance, management, communications, ethics, and integrity. She has handled various high-level assignments for the Apsea and Intosai Development Initiative. So I think without further ado, and I will introduce myself fully in the second guest, but for now, please, Anne, feel free to come and give us a small speech. Not Anne, Nancy Gadongo. Thank you. Welcome her with a hand clap. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Kenneth. Yes, we have worked with Kenneth for quite a while in matters integrity under the Kenya Leadership and Integrity Forum for quite a number of years. That's where we met. And we still meet there as we monitor the implementation of the Kenya Integrity Plan. The chairman of Apsea, Felix Okech, the chairman or chairpersons of the associations present have been told to be gender sensitive. The Chief Justice, represented here by Anno Suga, who is the Registrar and Head of Tribunal Secretariat. The Attorney General, represented by Caroline Saroni, Chairperson of the Advocates Complaints Commission. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I would like to take this opportunity to first thank Apsea for inviting me and my staff, because I have a table somewhere. I can't see them now, everybody's, there they are, yes. It's a full table. To come and celebrate with you the Diamond Jubilee, or this milestone of 60 years of being our umbrella body, because I'm a member of ISPAC. That is where my professional seat is. To all the professional associations in East Africa, I congratulate you for achieving this milestone and for continuing to be the voice of professional bodies in matters of public interest, and in developing networks for professionals. As you may be aware, ladies and gentlemen, my office is mandated by Article 229 of the Constitution to audit the accounts of our national and county governments. We audit the National Assembly, the Senate, the county assemblies, all funds, all authorities of national and county governments, courts, and any institution that receives public money. And I would like to say recently that one of the judges of the High Court ruled that where the private sector or an entity in the private sector receives any public money, be it a donation or funds to assist it in its mandate, I must ensure that that money is accounted for. So my work is expanding, but it's in the spirit of ensuring that public resources are used effectively, are used efficiently, and they make a difference in the lives of the citizens. Over the years, if I could talk about Apsea a little, they have been at the forefront of maintaining, advancing, and advocating for the highest professional standards and ethics, accountability, and good governance in the public interest. And they have promoted the interests of the members both regionally, internationally, and indeed locally. We have seen Apsea's involvement in the improvement of conditions that lead to the promotion of professional services and policy and legislation formation. And in particular, Apsea has supported public policy and legislation through lobbying Parliament and other stakeholders. A highlight of some of the achievements in this area includes participation in constitution-making process, drafting of bills, and influencing change of policy, especially when they made a request to the Ministry of East African Community to abolish requirements for work permits for East African professionals seeking to work in Kenya. Apsea has ensured that the link between the government and the private sector, especially in cross-cutting issues, through the public-private sector partnership programs, is maintained and is strengthened. And Apsea has also been in the front line in the fight against corruption through its participation in the Kenya Leadership and Integrity Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, the audit reports that I issue from time to time bring out issues relating to accountability, governance, and unfortunately misuse of public resources. In addition, we read in the newspapers stories of unethical behaviors, not only in the public sector, but also in the private sector. Behind these activities are professionals. Professionals who may be accountants, human resource practitioners, procurement specialists, lawyers, medical professionals, engineers, amongst others. Further, the environment in which we are now operating is one characterized by changing risks, heightened stakeholders' expectations and their needs, and being shaped by externalities which are beyond our control. We are continually being challenged as professionals to provide more value to our stakeholders while enhancing our various organizational influences and impact. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the need to maintain our professionalism is more critical than ever. I challenge the professionals from the public sector that for their organizations to get clean audit opinions, they must work and act collectively as professionals. And indeed, they must also collaborate with the professionals in the private sector, because government does business with the private sector. You must also ensure that we continue offering quality services continuously to our citizens. Professionals are not isolated from the major challenges such as the recent global pandemic, the climate change, which the chairman talked about, and the major disruptions that it brings, or the digital revolution. We are further moving into uncharted waters where the traditional ways of operating may not be feasible anymore. And therefore, as professionals and professional bodies, we need to reposition ourselves to face emerging issues and other changes in our various fields. We need to build organizational agility and adaptability, which will enable us to effectively foresee, identify, respond, and adapt to new challenges stemming from our evolving environment and technological transformations to ensure that we, the professionals, remain relevant. We need to build resilient, future-ready, relevant, and value-adding professionals who are ready to overcome the new challenges and learn the old ways of thinking or operating and learn or identify new ways. Professionals who are critical thinkers and strategists and who are the leaders in promoting positive change in our societies. The digital and data revolution is taking place in both the private and public sectors, with implications for professionals as they face the challenges of supplementing their existing professional competencies with the additional needed skills and knowledge required to succeed in this new reality. Professionals must leverage on ICT, on data analytics, corroboration of information, big data, artificial intelligence, amongst others. We need to build on our capacities through targeted training and reskilling of staff. This is critical if we are to continue providing quality services to the people who require it. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, Kenyans are looking up at us. They are looking at the professionals as the voices of reason, the drivers of change, and the assurers of accountability. Our national anthem echoes these words by reminding us that service be our honest endeavor. We must always give quality and sustainable services to the citizens. We must give services with integrity, with professionalism. Let our impact be felt in the lives and livelihoods of the citizens that we serve. I once again congratulate Apsea and wish you the very best in your future engagements. I thank you.
Please, kindly, once again, let's give a round of applause to the Auditor General. As I said, by the time we are through with our guests, you will be able to appreciate the uniqueness of our guests today. So before I introduce the next guest, allow me to also introduce myself a little bit further beyond my name. Also, my latest qualification, as I said, is MBA, Strategic Management, with a vision to pursue a DPhil, Doctor of Philosophy in Strategy. So I'm still praying whether it is the will of God. You know, you don't need to invest where it is not your line, you know. So I'm still praying whether it's the will of God. Then I can proceed with it as I look for funds and the right base for it. I work with a company called General Electric. General Electric is an American conglomerate which has 3 businesses, 3 industries. And I say so because I know the entire GE office, we interact with many various professionals in various industries. We have GE Aviation, we have General Electric Oil and Gas, and I met some colleagues from Geological Society and they know some people. And also we have GE Healthcare, where I am domiciled as the commercial manager for East Africa. So we might, and of course in this we interact closely with the healthcare professionals, the radiologists and also the radiographers and the cardiologists. So those are the people we interact with more. So I will now introduce our second guest. Yes, she is Commissioner Caroline Saroni, the chairperson for Advocates Complaints Commission. Caroline is representing the Attorney General, who was to be with us until he got an engagement nationally and he was not able to be with us. But we are really grateful because Commissioner Caroline was able to step in. So Caroline is, as I said, is executive chairperson of the Advocates Complaints Commission. Prior to her appointment in November 2019, Commissioner Saroni practiced law in Nairobi and also taught law at Kenyatta University School of Law. During her 11 years tenure at the university, she lectured, published books, chapters and journal articles, presented papers on professional ethics, which is very important for us as the professionals, public participation, regional integration, extractive laws and trade and investment laws. She also served as the chairperson of the Department of Private Law between 2013 and 2017. Commissioner Saroni has vast experience in public governance and is a member of Nelson Mandela School of Public Governance, Women Influence Power Program, Alumni Network. She serves on various boards and committees, including the Kenya Institute of Public Policy and Research, KIPRA. KIPRA, they also interact a lot with KIPRA. Whenever sometimes you have an engagement requiring stakeholders, we are grateful because you always invite Apsea so that we can also give our views. And one thing I like about KIPRA is all of them are doctors. I think people who make policy, they have to be very learned. So when I'm in the midst of KIPRA, I'm the only one who is not a doctor. So I'm looking forward to catch up. So Caroline is a board member in KIPRA. The National Multi-Agency Command Center on COVID-19, the National Multi-Agency Committee on Human Vaccine Production, and the World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa, Tobacco Control. Tobacco Control Program. She has also served as a board member of the Tobacco Control Board representing LSK. Commissioner Saroni is passionate about mentoring the youth, law students, young lawyers, and advocates. She is a devoted Christian, wife and mother of 2 great boys. She enjoys serving at her local church, playing with her boys, traveling, and learning new things through reading and watching documentaries. And something which is not written, she also enjoys company of professionals. That's why she's here. So without much ado, please let us welcome Caroline with a hand clap. Karibu sana.
Allow me to set up in this digital era. Okay. The chief guest, Honorable Anna Suga, representing the Honorable Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, the Auditor General, ACPA Nancy Kathugu, the Chairperson of the Association of Professional Societies in East Africa, Mr. Felix Okach, the APCA Council members, APCA Executive Committee and conveners of the committees, representatives of professional associations, members of the media present, including the Fifth Estate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As you are told, I'm Caroline Saroni, and I am the chairperson of the Advocates Complaints Commission. And before I proceed to read the speech forwarded to me by the Honorable Attorney General, allow me to briefly state what my organization does, because it is very key to the issue of professionalism. So what we do, and our mission is to enhance professionalism in the legal profession, and we do this by receiving complaints from members of the public. Then we investigate these complaints and prosecute them at the disciplinary tribunal, the Advocates Disciplinary Tribunal. We also go around the country to educate the citizens about how they should interact with advocates, to ensure that we minimize problems and complaints regarding advocates. We also speak to advocates, and we encourage them to enhance professionalism and to observe the code of conduct of advocates. So that's what we do, and therefore we play a very key role in enhancing professionalism in the legal profession. Now, before I proceed with the speech, I'll kindly receive the apologies of the Honorable Attorney General. Until yesterday evening, he was coming for this event, but because of exigencies of duty, he was not able to, and therefore he requested me to represent him here. And he gave me a speech that allowed me to read, and I'll read verbatimly. So good evening. It is a pleasure to join you today as the guest of honor to celebrate your 60th anniversary and dine with professionals from different economic sectors. I'd like to take this early opportunity to congratulate the leadership, staff, and partners of the association for your performance, dedication, and commitment to protecting public interest by maintaining, advancing, and advocating for the highest professional standards and ethics, as well as promoting the interest of your members, both regionally and internationally, since your establishment in 1961. This celebration is indeed deserving. Ladies and gentlemen, as professionals serving in different sectors, we are responsible for providing essential and valuable services to our society with skill, good judgment, integrity, commitment, and strict adherence to our respective codes of conduct. Indeed, because of the vigorous education one has to go through to qualify as a professional and the continuous professional development requirement once within the profession, society holds us in high esteem. We occupy a privileged position in society that places a higher leadership demand on us to exhibit the best practice standards of professionalism in discharging our responsibilities. Therefore, we must be innovative and competent and commit ourselves corporately and individually to high standards of ethics, integrity, and professionalism, regardless of the circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this celebration, 60 years of professional service and innovating to face new realities, is greatly apt, particularly in the face of the far-reaching adverse impacts of the COVID-19 on all sectors and the increasing technological advances. Certainly, the market is not static, and neither should professionals be. Therefore, the theme of this celebration and dinner presents an opportunity for members and stakeholders to, one, examine the role of innovation in the development of professional associations, two, evaluate the result of technology in the changing nature of professions, since it is capable of rendering some professions, as we know them, obsolete, and three, consider reviewing the codes of conduct to reflect economic, political, and social conditions to protect public interest and enhance professionalism. Therefore, as we celebrate, it is essential that we reflect on the innovations that are vital in confronting the new realities attendant to professions in the 22nd century. Ladies and gentlemen, innovation as a tool of professional development is not just technological or economical, but also ethical and social. It applies to products, services, and processes, often introducing radical changes. The rapid growth and influence of technology, robotics, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence have aided innovation in science, medicine, aviation, and other sectors. This has spurred industrialization and revamped service delivery. For example, social media in the current era of smartphones and tablet computers has made e-commerce a reality. Farmers also are using digital tools to help with climate change adaptation, and in the health sector, primary healthcare clinics utilize various locally developed software applications to triangulate infection data to deliver care effectively. More recently, the COVID-19 pandemic destabilized the traditional ways many professions operated. This forced many sectors to adapt new ways of doing things to ensure service delivery. Technological advancement catalyzed by the pandemic played an important role in supporting several innovations across the economic sectors. One profession that had to make substantial innovative changes in the way it operates to ensure service delivery is the legal profession. It substantially opted to use technology as a matter of necessity to facilitate access to justice. It introduced virtual court sessions, digital filing through the e-filing platform, electronic case management system, and digitization of property and company registration services. Another good example is the education sector. Education technology, which combines IT tools and educational practices, greatly facilitated and enhanced learning during the pandemic period for a few counties. With the growing reach of mobile technology in Kenya, education technology has the potential to reach out-of-school children and youth, even in remote areas of the country. Indeed, the COVID-19 pandemic has made most, if not all, professions review the way they operate and build resilience by being forward-looking, innovative, and creative. As we innovate, we must never forget to be responsible. Responsible innovation is crucial, but it is not always easy. We are in a complex era full of disruptive technologies that require careful consideration, especially in relation to the positive and negative consequences associated. Professional associations and their members must define their vision and identify their strengths and weaknesses. After that, they must start to innovate and define their optimal route. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I would like to highlight that my office has been working with Apsea to, one, reform crucial institutions through legislative reform, two, promote national values and leadership and integrity in the delivery of professional services, three, address the concerns around the cost-effectiveness and speed of delivery of justice, four, devolve professional services to the 47 counties of Kenya, and five, mitigate international barriers to professional practice within the East African region and other international borders. Indeed, the engagement between the two institutions has contributed to promoting national development strategies by reviewing laws promoting socio-economic development. These legislations include Succession Act Amendment Bill 2015, the Matrimonial Bill, the Human Rights Commission Bill, the Family Protection Bill, and the Data Protection Bill. All of them are now acts of parliament. This attests to the nobility of the shared effort to advance high professional standards and ethics and promote the interest of the public. We commit to continue working with Apsea to ensure professionalism in service delivery for our nation's economic prosperity. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right, again, please let us give Caroline a hand of applause. Thank you very much. I hope you are discovering the uniqueness of our guests. Anyone who has not discovered yet, or you wait for the last one, the chief guest, and then you can confirm. AG, we are grateful, and in a small talk there, I remember I mentioned to you that as Apsea executive, we have been thinking of how to anchor Apsea in a regulation, which we believe will be a more sustainable way to serve professional body better. So the executive will approach your office moving forward so that we can deliberate on how to have a law that will harmonize all of us, that will not really touch on specifics of career-specific, profession-specific, but everything that so far you have spoken: professionalism, integrity, ethics, and the role of trying to mainstream the role of professionals in governance, and all these issues. I believe if we have a law establishing Apsea, we can even be able to reach far and wide in an effort to have this perspective. So I want to invite my chairman again, so that he can take us from there. I know, Mr. Chairman, you gave me the platform, but I want to give it back to you. I hope you will give it back to me later, even if not today, but all right, let us welcome Mr. Chairman. with a clap.
Once again, good evening. I'm back to the stage for the last time to introduce our chief guest, representing Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, and then she'll give us the keynote address. As protocols go, we mention profile of the next speakers. However, in future, if any of you will be somewhere else and have to make a speech, if you have a smartphone, in my case, just Google my name. But for now, because we need clarity, that's why I have to read much about Anne Asuga. Anne Asuga is the Registrar, Tribunal, and Head of Tribunal Secretariat. Ms. Anne Asuga is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya with over 20 years' experience as a Registrar and Head of Tribunal Secretariat. She joined the judiciary 10 years ago and has over 15 years in public leadership and administration. She has previously worked as the Deputy Registrar in the Supreme Court as well. Anne holds a Master's of Law degree in Democracy and Governance and a Bachelor of Laws degree both from the University of Nairobi and a postgraduate diploma from Kenya School of Law. She has a passion for transformation through driving innovations and inspiring employees. Anne was responsible for the establishment and anchorage of the Judiciary's Tribunal Secretariat, which coordinates over 21 tribunals operations in Kenya. Anne has previously worked as an assistant editor at the National Council of Law Reporting in charge of consolidation of all laws of Kenya, and she led the team that pioneered online publications of the laws of Kenya. She has proficiency in legislative drafting and has undergone senior leadership and management training from Kenya School of Government and other several international institutions. Anne has published 2 books dealing with the discriminatory laws and case management in the judiciary. She is a member of Law Society of Kenya. Of course, LSK is a member of Apsea, so by extension, she's a member of Apsea. And also a member of Institute of Certified Secretaries. Of course, ICS secretaries are also members of Apsea. And International Association of Court Administrators. She is also the patron of Mahiga Primary School and a former vice chair of the Board of Management of Mahiga Secondary School, all in Nyeri County. She is also an active alumni of the Bishop Gatimu Gandu Girls High School. Now, before Anne comes, it's interesting, you know, Kenya is one country, but before you travel, you think Kenya is different. For information, I'm a council member of Karatina University. The first time when I went to Karatina University, later when I went home, I told an uncle of mine that there's a place far Karatina where I go to the council. He told me he used to work in Karatina. way back in the 50s. So later on when I was in Kratin, I was getting some old men asking them, were there Luos here? They say, yeah, they're the ones working the railways here. It's one country, isn't it? So that interested me particularly when I read a home from Nyeri County. And of course, there are some people also of my home who are born in Tumutumu, the old days. So we are one. So I know that we are one. So with those many remarks and accolades, I take this opportunity to invite Anne Mahiga to give us the keynote address. Please give her a coffee.
Thank you very much for that introduction. The chairperson of Apsea, Mr. Felix Okach, the Auditor General, Madam Nancy Gathungu, all protocols observed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I give the keynote speech of the Honorable, the Chief Justice, who has sent me to represent her, I want to pass her apologies. She is out of the country and was unable to come. And I was asked to speak on her behalf. I have her remarks, and I'm going to read them. In the meantime, perhaps just imagine I'm the CJ for now. When I came in, how I knew I was in a different space from the public sector is how Dr. Kigodu sold his profession to me. He came and gave me a card and told me, I'm a gynecologist. If you need this service, call me. Unfortunately, for Dr. Kigodu, I'm done, with that space. So I'll not be calling you for that, perhaps something else. Perhaps to close it up, maybe. But I'm so glad to be here. I'm honored. And I'm very grateful to my boss, the Honorable the Chief Justice, for sending me here. I've heard of names of professional organizations that I have not heard before. And it's amazing that all of us are in this country doing professional work, but we still have very, very serious issues to tackle. To your 60, or is it 28 professions that form the Apsea, you can add the 40 tribunals that are in this country, which I'm sure majority of you might not be aware. I had someone ask the NCA why buildings are collapsing. Perhaps we should ask the National Construction Appeals Board, which is the dispute resolution in that sector. You've heard about the Advocates Disciplinary Tribunal. There are many, many, many tribunals in Kenya. Did you know there's a dietitian and nutritionist tribunal if you're given the wrong diet? Where you can go to actually complain that your dietitian is not as skilled as you thought. As I prepare to read the remarks of the CJ, I just wanted to say that you've heard from all the speakers. I have the shortest resume. They have very long careers and very experienced. But I've read a book called Team of Teams. How many have read Team of Teams? Anybody in the room? Okay. Team of Teams is a book written by General McChrystal. He was the commander of the US forces in Iraq when they invaded Iraq in 2003, as well as Afghanistan. He has very, very interesting insights into how big organizations should be run in terms of running away from the traditional procedure, fixed of where we work, either in the public or in the private sector. One of the things he says is that we are so concerned about efficiency. How fast are you doing it? And when we get stuck, we either abandon that project. He wants us to become adaptable. And he says he discovered when he was actually fighting Abu Bakr Zakawi, who is the biggest terror threat at the time. His army was a ragtag army, being fought by Special Navy SEALs who had all the equipment the world can buy, but they were still defeated because they could not adapt to the terrain of where they were. They had efficient equipment, they had trained manpower, but adaptability was a problem. And that's a great lesson for organizations that have to deal with the times and the realities that have been spoken about by the team that was here before. So I would recommend that book to the people in this room, because you're esteemed professionals, you are running very serious organizations, and I am from Mahiga Primary School. So clearly, I probably am not in the league of advising, but I think it's a book that we can all use. With that, I believe we have a person from judiciary here. I couldn't be alone. Is Mr. Kakai here from ISPAC? Kakai, are you here? FCPA, I hear that's what it's called. I think he's behind there. He's laughing because he doesn't know a bit. But that's my colleague from the judiciary, so I'm happy at least I'm not alone from that institution. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the remarks of the Honorable the Chief Justice, Martha Koome. And she says the following. I'm going to read it verbatim, and I hope that, because it's a bit lengthy, you'll probably excuse me for a moment, just to hear what the Chief Justice had to say this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let me start by thanking the leadership of Apsea, particularly your chair, Mr. Okach, for the honor of inviting me to address you during this gala dinner in which you are celebrating your 60 years anniversary. It's worth recalling that Apsea was established in 1961 as an umbrella body for all professional associations, with the main aim being to maintain, advance, and advocate for the highest professional standards and ethics in the public interest, and promote the interests of members regionally and internationally. As we look back at the past 60 years, we should ask ourselves whether the foundational goal of advancing and upholding professional standards has been realized or not. This 60-year anniversary celebration is also an opportune moment to reflect on what the future holds for professionals in our country and region, given the fact that the world has changed from the circumstances and realities of 60 years ago when Apsea was founded. The current times we live in is beset with challenges that include troubled economies, climate change, a global health pandemic, national conflict, ethnic and religious extremism, poverty, a crisis of ethics in professions, and questions around breakdown in competence and standards in the professions, to name but a few. Virtually no nation is exempt from these problems, and all of us feel the impact of these issues. These challenges that I have enumerated and others point to the reality that there has been a marked and dramatic and subtle changes in socio-economic, environment, and political arena over the last 60 years that we've been in existence, all of which have a bearing on the role of professionals in the society. The question then becomes, what is the role of the professional in such a changing context, given these new realities? I believe that professionals ought to be hopeful persons. This is because our disciplines are predicated on the belief that we exist to offer solutions within the particular fields of our expertise. We must therefore rise up to be part of the solution of these challenges within our communities, our nation, regionally, and at the global stage. As professionals, you're empowered not only to diagnose and analyze the problems our communities and humanities face, but also have a responsibility to offer solutions to those problems within the context of your various disciplines. It is professionals who ought to guide the policymakers and the citizens on the right path in our quest to create a better world. Ladies and gentlemen, with the modernizing of our economies in the region, unlike 6 years ago, professionals will continue to grow in influence within the East African region. Professionals are bound to impact various social institutions, shape the economy, and affect the overall future of this nation and our region. But to do this, you must not retreat from the public square. You must bring your knowledge and experience to bear on public and social discourse especially in policy and analysis. To shape the broader society within the context of a rapidly changing world, I would suggest that we should embrace the idea that our professions ought to be a social enterprise, which is different from their usual depiction as commercial enterprises. In saying this, my view is founded on the truism that professionals are the most highly educated members of our society. There is therefore a legitimate expectation by the society that there shall be a return in the investment in your knowledge. I dare say that you hold that professional knowledge in trust on behalf of the society. You must therefore be a resource for both the economic development and social problem solver in your communities and in our nation. We must always remember that professionalism, which is the essence of a professional, has both a technical and a moral aspect. Technically, it promises competent performance of a skilled work involving the application of broad and complex knowledge, the acquisition of which requires formal academic study. Morally, it promises to be guided by an appreciation of the important social ends it serves. This idea was expressed in a classic form by the British economic historian and social critic R.H. Tawney as follows. Professionals may, as in the case of the successful doctor, grow rich, but the meaning of their profession, both for themselves and for the public, is not that they make money, but that they make health or safety or knowledge or good government or good law as the criterion of the success, the end for which the profession, whatever it may be, is carried on, and the inclination, appetite, and ambition of individuals to the rules of an organization which has its object to promote performance of the function. What this means is that the end of the goal of pursuit of professional undertakings must be serving a larger social purpose. In my view, our professional knowledge and skills should be channeled in ways that respond to the challenges that we face in the 21st century and also be geared towards building a socially just state and society as envisaged in the 2010 Constitution. Could you just imagine it's the CJ over here and then? Just an imagination. It's important that we use our knowledge and skills as professionals in pursuit of the common good and the society as a whole and become change agents who contribute to the goal of national development and the realization of the objectives of our Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, we must be at the forefront in the discourse around economic development and the quest to solve the contemporary political, social, and ecological problems facing us. This implies that to serve as change agents, our work and focus must not be confined to our technical areas of expertise, but must also embrace providing solutions to concerns around good governance, ecological concerns, unique challenges facing our communities, and the plight of the vulnerable in our society, especially children, persons living with disabilities, amongst others. The 2010 Constitution is supportive of the idea of an open government, transparency, and accountability, thus offers the potential for altering the relations between the people and those who govern. In addition, the courts have developed jurisprudence that is supportive of citizens' rights to freedom of information and public participation, thus helping to shine a light on the dubious practices both in the public and the private sector. You must therefore seize on these opportunities and play your rightful role in the society. The changing realities of the context within which we operate demands that we innovate to adapt and fit with the changing times. This is so as these changes create new demands and needs. As technology continues to permeate not only our personal but also our professional lives, as political, demographical, social, and environmental changes are impacting us, innovation becomes necessary for us to continue discharging our professional roles competently. To give you an example, 10 years ago, Judges and lawyers did not think a day would come when you would conduct court proceedings virtually and file our court pleadings electronically, and the Attorney General has alluded to this. Then came COVID-19, and with the pandemic, we realized that automation and digitization was an avenue through which we could improve on efficiency and flexibility of our court processes. We have now fully, as the judiciary, embraced leveraging on technology as a means for enhanced delivery of justice. I think we deserve a clap there. The point, therefore, is that society changes, the changed environment within which we are increasingly operating as professionals comes with new expectations and demands. However, there are also opportunities to be exploited if we embrace innovation. I am firmly convinced that to excel as a professional in this 21st century demands that we embrace that our professional environment is shifting ground and it's evolving, and therefore embrace innovation to thrive. Speaking for the judiciary, it's my sincere hope that we shall find allies in the various professionals, irrespective of your disciplines, that is, allies for justice and good governance as promised in the Constitution. In the judiciary, we are working to ensure access to justice for everybody within our borders and outside. The judiciary's vision, which goes under the mantra of social transformation through access to justice, STAJ, promotes the idea of a multi-door approach to access to justice. By this I mean that beyond court-based litigation, we are opening the doors of justice through alternative channels of dispute resolution that includes arbitration, mediation, use of tribunals, small claims courts, and alternative justice systems. We encourage you to make full use of these avenues of access to justice as they are legitimate part of our menu for dispute resolutions. There are disputes that come to court that emanate from contexts where different professions understand the realities and context of the disputes more than lawyers and judges. Receiving such disputes would benefit from your experience and nuanced knowledge in those areas. To this end, I would propose a closer partnership with Apsea in the different spheres of justice dispensation, including enhancing alternative dispute resolution mechanisms of our court-annexed mediation. I therefore encourage all of you to join our growing army of mediators and also to channel disputes of your professions through mediation. In conclusion, through the 2010 constitutions, we have put in place several key building blocks that provide avenues for citizens, including professionals like yourselves and your associations, to participate in the governance of the country and participate in discourse that have implications for their communities. I ask you to take advantage of them and contribute to the realization of the change you want to see in our region, our country, and in your particular communities. Once again, I'm very pleased to be here, me, now the Chief Justice, in joining you to celebrate Apsea's 60 years anniversary. It's my firm conviction that professionals must be at the decision-making table at all levels. I therefore call upon you to embrace active citizenship as a means of responding to and navigating the new realities and challenges that we face in our communities, our nation, and at the global stage. I thank you, and may God bless all of you. Honorable Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, stay there. I'm bringing my other card, but anyway. At this juncture, after my fellow President Martha Koome has spoken, we want to move on to the next session, and we have Cake Matron, who will lead us to the next stage, where we cut the cake for Apsea at 60. Do you want her up there or down here? All right. Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Are you guys having a good evening? Well, you don't look happy. You look bored. So I'll make this brief because I have really convinced our very, very first chair to stay here for the cake cutting session. So I am Ms. Aluso Ingati. I am the Assistant Honorary Secretary, Apsea, and We thank you all for gracing our occasion to celebrate our 60 years of being in existence. So I would like to call the following people to come and help us cut the cake and to open our official end and unofficial beginning of the rest of the evening. So to start us off, I will ask our guests of honor to come. Our representative from Honorable Martha Kome's office, kindly just go to the next to the cake. The Office of the Attorney General, and also the Office of the Auditor General. I will also ask our past chairpersons to come to the front, Mr. Dennis Mutiso and Ms. Irene Wanyoike. Karibuni sana. David, sorry, my apologies. MC, kindly get our senior a seat. He's too senior to stand. Help him have a seat to sit at the front. Asante. I also request the Executive Committee of Apsea to come to the front, all of us who are present. These are my colleagues, very industrious Kenyans. They have given a lot to this organization. Karibuni sana. I also invite the organizing committee of this event. These great Kenyans sacrificed a lot in terms of time and resources. Our CEO made us meet as early as 7 a.m. every week to put this together. Asanteni sana organizing committee. Bwana MC, please help me put people in order. Also, I would like to invite the representatives of our gold sponsors, that is KPDF, CPF, CASNEB, and ISPAC. Please come to the front, and so we can all cut our cake together. DJ, we need some music. Please make this particular session to be good. Mr. DJ, yes, if you guys know Vida, please feel free to enjoy the music. Madam CEO Anne, where are you? Is our CEO here? All right, thank you guys. Chairman? Chairman, please, we need you here. And the representative of our Chief Justice's office, please come and help the chairman to do our unveiling, something small. Yes. Madam CEO, please help us in this. Anne, kindly. Thank you. There's a little unveiling that we want to do here. So, tuanze, Madam CEO. Yes, please proceed with the cutting. Asante sana. Makofi. Yay! Asante sana. We are happy as Apsea. We are very happy to be here today. 60 years old is not a joke. Yeah. Asante, Chairman. Yay. Hiya. Thank you.
They come and cut the cake now.
Yes. Now let's proceed to cutting the cake. Madam CEO, are you helping us here with cutting the cake? Let me also come down and cut the cake with you guys. Thank you. The cake cutters want a song. So kata keki tukule sasa. Tukule sasa. Kata keki tukule sasa. Sio ugali. Hiyo ni keki, sio ugali. Kata keki. Kata keki tukule sasa.
Thank you very much.
Asante.
This part is over, but please, our guests, don't go back to sit. We still need you here. Our special guests, we still need you here. So please don't go back. We have a small, you can sit, sir, you can sit. We have some few tokens to give as your birthday gifts. So please just keep us here. I'll ask the DJ as you play, Shelley. The gifts.
Chairman, peana keki, angalau mtu aume keki ya chief guest apewe kitu. Cake matron is letting us down. She has not cut a cake. Where the gifts? Very good. As the chairman is giving the chief guest a cake, we want to give some gifts to some of our guests. Yeah, the cake is being cut. DJ weka wimbo moja hapo. Yeah, you start with the president, my fellow president in the Lady Mother kata ndogo upeane picha ipigwe hapo. Napea hapana, chief guest anapea piga hiyo. This is a serious, yeah. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Yep. Keki na piano. Thank you. Previous and the current, yeah. So we are going to give a few gifts. We'll start with the oldest member of Apsea. We have the chairman who will give the oldest member of Apsea, David Mutiso, architect. Daisy. Hey. Aya, Peana. Give a clap for the oldest member of Apsea. Very visionary. Chairman apewe David Mutiso, architect. Aya, shikilieni hapo, weka tu chini kidogo, hapo, na usmile, sema Nova. Wow, yeah, very good. Thank you very much. You can have a seat. Chairman, have a seat. Chairman. We now want our immediate past chair, Lady Irene, to receive a gift from Rose, our secretary. Secretary Rose, is Rose around? Rosemary? Rosemary? Peana, yeah. This one was an inspiration. She organized the first anti-corruption meeting, and immediately after that, I don't know what happened. The resolutions, I think they were implemented. Yeah, Rosemary giving her immediate past. Her smile, look at the camera here. Very good, very good. There is gender imbalance, so let me, Ebu piga hiyo picha. It's gender imbalance. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Uh-huh. Nancy Gadungu, thank you. Come to be given by Senior Vice Chair Council. Senior Vice Chair Council. I'm under instructions here. Senior Vice Chair Council. There is gender balance here. So, wait, what was Bishop? Bishop, very important. Ah, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. She is supposed to declare. She will declare. She will declare. This one is live. Let's see. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, no, this one you can go home with. It has no commercial value. Just take that photo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are learning professionalism here. Mimi nikapewa hii hakuna kudeclare, nikwenda naye nyumbani. Madam Caroline, Mr. Gaturu. Yes, yes. Mr. Gaturu, oh, she's looking lovely. Stand right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Gaturu is coming. Are you declaring? Uko, there you don't declare. There you go home with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Gaturu. Look at the camera. Let's have a look. Yeah. Mr. Gaturu is the second vice chair of Apsea. He's looking lovely there. That's right. And Caroline, thank you very much for your presence. Okay, as soon. President. We are now next awarding the office of the Madam Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome. Honorable President Martha Koome, hizo zote. Martha Koome. Thank you. Represented here by Anna Suga. We want the chairman to give this is a big one. Chairman. When we were jailed, Honorable Martha Koome released us from jail in 2017. Tafadhali umtume asante yetu, alitutoa jela 2017. Hey, watu bwana. Hapa chairman is receiving piga hiyo bisha. Chwa. Hiyo ni ya lipa kama tenda. Chwa, lipa kama tenda. Thank you very much. Excellent. Do you declare, you people? You have to declare. It has no value, no monetary, is it? Yes, we hear from the big office it must be less than 20,000. They didn't specify whether it's dollars or shillings, but it must be less than 20,000. This one is definitely 19,999, and you can go home with that one. Piga hiyo bisha. All right. Joseph Rono from CPF to award our sponsors. This food would not have been possible without some of the sponsors. Joseph Rono from CPF. I'm Amanda, CPF representative. There's a CPF representative. Oh, thank you very much. There he comes in. Joseph Rono. And we will have... Yep. We are short of executives to give these gifts, so we'll now start choosing from the local crowd. No, there is Nani? Oh, Ashuno has been selected. Huh? Where is Ashuno? Oh, there's my good friend here. I don't know how I forgot about him. Piga Yobisha. Piga Yobisha. Vincent Oloch is there to receive. There'll be an MCQ. We are also teaching you who the executive members are. Huh? Crown, our other gold sponsor, Crown. Can you send our representatives? Crown, Ama Mumenda. Mr. Ashindu, you have been unanimously selected to give this. Crown, thank you very much for your continued partnership. Songea hapo karibu. Hiyo mbisha cha. IHRM, mwanze kuja hapa mbele. Dalmas, from IHRM, Dalmas. Oh, okay. There's a representative. Irene is here. Thank you very much. Asante sana. Mr. Engineer Irani? Engineer Irani? Anasign check. Engineer Irani? Yeah. Okay. Those very important human resources. Yeah, you can help us with the Health Service Commission. Just tell that HRH. Yeah. The representative of CASNEB, I saw them somewhere behind. Thank you. CASNEB, CPA Nguru Ashira. CPA Nguru Ashira. It's a pleasure is ours. Very good. These examiners, I like being far from them. CASNEB, I don't like examiners. Yes. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Mpe aende haraka haraka. Examiners. Yeah. Okay. Finally, we thank the organizing committee for organizing this very successful session. And therefore, we would call upon the chair of the organizing committee. Chair is here. Betty, you can come and represent the chair. Kuna. She will be given by our executive officer. And okay, smile. There is no gender balance, so I must enter that photo later. Yeah, wait. That's right. Yeah, with that, we want to have a dancing competition. Oh, sorry, but it's okay. Yes, you want me to take me a photo? Sawa, utapelekwa kwa AG. Yeah, the photographers wanted all the guests, chief guests, to get a photograph there. So I think you can stand there. To this, we have actually come to the end of the celebrations and the dinner. And now this is where we start saying tunaenda part 2. And the sponsors of this second part, which the bar is open, is at this point, whoever has not taken some cake can come to the front and get some cake. Whoever has not taken a selfie with me can come and take a selfie with me. And whoever has not tweeted hashtag Apsea at 60, this is the opportunity to say I was at hashtag Apsea at 60, tag at Simon Kigondu. And we are now going into the dance session where you can take your photos at the front and interact with other members, especially Institute of Oh, yeah, bring it. We are having now the vote of thanks, and the vote of thanks will be delivered. Is it ready? The MC is missing from that picture. Wait, the MC is missing. Thank you. Vote of thanks. Yep, no problem. I think you can, the vote of thanks, yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me do that again. There's protocols to be observed. Our distinguished guests, esteemed sponsors, guests of Apsea, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good evening. I am honored to bear the task of granting each one of you our mkono wa heko for attending this event. My name is Mbeti Mishuki, and I am a member of the organizing committee. I stand here on behalf of the chairman of the organizing committee. Our first gratitude goes to our Creator, who has granted us breath and health. Without him, we would not be in this room this evening. He has also given us the skill that we have and the different professions that we proudly bear. And without his grace, this would not be possible. For those who have gone before us, for those who bore birth to Apsea 60 years ago, for them, we say thank you. Without their sacrifice, we would not be where we are today. And more so, without their sacrifice, those who carried on behind them would not have seen the fruition of their vision. And to them, we say thank you. To our distinguished guests, Anne Asuga, the representative of the Honorable Lady Justice Martha Karambu Kome, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, we thank you. We thank you for her speech that urged us to provide solutions aside from our professional calling and service, and to be active citizens in addressing the country's challenges. We thank Caroline Saroni, the representative of Honorable JBN Muturi, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, who urged us to develop responsible innovations that will move our professions forward. We also urge Ms. Nancy Gathungu, the Auditor General. She informed us, and rightly so, that Kenya is looking up at the professionals. And our MC rightly said that when we saw the buildings come down, we all thought, where are the professionals in that? So each one of us in our different aspects have been urged this evening to provide a service with integrity and professionalism and ensure that our services make a difference in the lives of the public. One thing that I can say, one theme that ran through all the speeches that were before us this evening was the value of integrity. I urge us to carry this forward in our professions. To our generous sponsors, allow me to name each of the sponsors. To the County Pension Fund, Crown, which is the largest paint manufacturer in East Africa, Kenya Professionals Development Fund, KIPRA, which is the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis, CASNEB, and MASRAS. We thank you. Thank you for your support in rallying behind Apsea to celebrate its existence through your patronage. We celebrate this partnership and hope that it grows from strength to strength. We cannot forget our corporate members, those of you who are very proud to be acknowledged by the MC. Allow me this opportunity to acknowledge each one of you again. The Architectural Association of Kenya, the Association of Consulting Engineers of Kenya, Geological Society of Kenya, the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, the Institute of Certified Public Secretaries of Kenya, the Institute of Certified Investments and Financial Analysts, the Institute of Quantity Surveyors of Kenya, the Institute of Surveyors of Kenya, Kenya Association of Radiologists, the Kenya Institute of Planners, Kenya Institute of Supplies Management, Kenya Dental Association, Kenya Medical Association, Kenya Meteorological Society, the Law Society of Kenya, Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, the Society of Radiography in Kenya, and the Institute of Human Resource Management. Please acknowledge our gratitude for your membership. And we urge other professions, those that have not attained the standard that you have, to do so as well. There's something that was mentioned, the accountability of the different professionals. For those associations that were named and for those who are members in Apsea, do you have an accountability platform? Within the Law Society of Kenya, we were informed we do have the Advocates Complaints Commission, and in other associations, they are there. What about your profession? How are you accountable to the citizens in this country? And to our host, Safari Park Hotel, we thank you for granting us a good meal, good drink, and even ambience. We have experienced a good time this evening. Apologies, I'm having user challenges. Thank you. To each one of you who honored the Apsea invitation, this celebration would not be possible in the absence of your presence. Your act of attendance serves not only to celebrate with Apsea, but to affirm to Apsea that professionalism is worth it, and the vision is well worth pursuing. To our Master of Ceremony, Dr. Simon Kigondu, thank you very much. You acknowledged the presidents of the Society's president, and for those who aspire to be presidents, please take up the charge. You will be called upon ever so often to shine your light. And to the Apsea Organizing Committee, I take this opportunity to thank you all for rallying and pushing to ensure that we celebrate 60 years of this achievement. Thank you to the Secretariat, who ran with the committee's requests, and we also thank the committee for walking in step with the Secretariat standing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you will agree with me and walk with me when I say that our bellies are full and our hearts are content, correct? If your bellies are not full, Safari Park is right there. We can deal with that later. But I do hope that our hearts are content. We have honored, and you have honored, the Apsea vision with good food, drink, and excellent conversation. I trust that is why our chair had a problem trying to talk over everyone because of the good conversation that we have shared this evening. Thank you for your gift of time to celebrate and and commemorate with us the vision of Apsea. As with all good things, this too has to come to its end. We wish you safe travels as you depart and urge you to burn bright the candle of professionalism in every sphere that you find yourselves in. Thank you. And as we began this celebration with a word of prayer, I urge us to rise as we close with a word of prayer. Okay. We will say the words of the grace, and may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Have a good evening.
And the bar is open. Those who want a selfie with the MC, akuje mbele.